Those of you who follow my channel will know that I'm currently building 2 custom bikes myself, and I love building them on a particular theme. Now the one would be a Moto Guzzi, and the theme of that is it's the 100-year anniversary Centenario motorcycle for Moto Guzzi. The colors are based on the V8 racer of 1955, so it's going to be a tribute bike with a dustbin fairing and all of that. I have done part 1 and part 2 and just waiting for the warehouse to have more space and time to build there again. The other one is still a bit of a secret, but I can tell you it's based on a Rocket 3R. It is well under progress. Triumph Santana's busy helping me with that. The spray work is being done, so I think in the next 2 weeks I'll give you a teaser on that particular one. Now, there was some time ago a competition here in South Africa by BMW South Africa themselves. I think 8 dealers got invited to customize the BMW R18 First Edition. Now there was some wonderful works that came out of that, and I followed the BMW Fourways creation, and what a stunning bike that particular one was. This bike here behind me was not part of that competition. It was one of the let's call it movers and shakers of BMW South Africa, his personal bike, and he customized it. And on this build there was no budget, not like in the competition by BMW South Africa. This had no budget. It was pretty open-ended, and we'll go through it and you'll see why huge money was spent on this bike. But when this came for sale, I definitely had to jump at it, and as I go through it, I'm sure you'll appreciate and understand why I had to have it. The theme of this bike, the topic of the bike, the attention to detail, front to back. It is a fantastic motorcycle and really totally different. It's based on the BMW R18 First Edition Pure, which I actually have in my collection. So as soon as I have the warehouse and I have the space and it's painted and it's nice, I will put this bike next to the standard R18 Pure, and we can do a side-by-side comparison and see how far they've taken this custom work. Now in this episode, let's have a look at the bike, the theme, attention to detail, and the work done on this bike. As I mentioned in the opening, here you will see it's based on the BMW R18 First Edition, and it was a Pure, this bike. Now the BMW R18 Pure I have in my collection, so I'm looking forward to putting these two side by side. Unfortunately, the Pure is in a different storage unit, so I have never seen them side by side. Looking at the bike in detail, you will see a lot of panels with pop rivets all over the place. That tells you it's based on an heritage vintage aeroplane, an old aircraft, most probably World War II. Looking a bit closer over here, where it traditionally says the 1800cc engine badging, it says Maverick. Looking at the seat, you will see Top Gun, United States Navy Top Gun. So yes, this bike, the theme is the Top Gun movie, Tom Cruise's P-51 Mustang. Now the P-51 Mustang is a very, very famous North American long-range single-seat fighter bomber. Now that engine was the Packard V1650 Merlin engine. Now if you look at that plane, just behind the prop you will see there's like these 6 exhaust outlets, and if you look at that, there's 5 airbrushed in here. Now guys, this is not a wrap, this is a spray work, and even the shading on the pop rivets, exquisite work. One of the little details I noticed, if you look at all these seams and the pop rivets, everything is really clean. That badge is clean. Promise you, this is an airbrush work, not a wrap. Now if you go to the back of the bike, you will see there's more dirt in it, and obviously exhaust fumes and dirt coming from the front. So really realistic, stunningly made. So The P-51 Mustang, interesting topic. Tom Cruise actually owns that plane in the second film. He bought that and he pilots himself. Now, this is just such a stunning depiction. I personally love those kind of planes, the Spitfire and the Mustang, and it's just such a stunning piece. The way they've done it, they incorporated things that I love from muscle cars, like these side pipes. If you have a look at these two side pipes down the side, it really opens everything up, so you have this open, let's call it drive shaft, that it's exposed drive shaft based on the classic motorcycles. You know, you also, with this bobber type seat, this open, you can see this elaborate double loop steel tube frame. It really exposes everything. I like this bobber style smaller mudguard at the back, really cool, cleaned up at the back. These indicators are stunning. I will switch them on just now. Number plate on the side, and it really highlights this motor. Those pods either side, 901 cc's, you're talking about 1802 cc motor on this bike. And to ride this, it's just so stunning. It's like a muscle car, because with these low side pipes either side, yes, you have two outlets, this side and to that side, so the symmetry is stunning. It is stunning. I'm going to do a sound check for you now. It sounds stunning, and it has 91 horsepower at a low 4,750 rpm, but at just 3,000 rpm you have 158 newton meters, and that's how you ride this thing. Now, funny, the geometry is pretty much the same as the standard R18 Pure, however it just feels and rides so differently. This seat kicking up like that really gives you good support. You don't slide back. If you have a look at this cockpit in front here, everything being blacked out is absolutely stunning. Taking all the chrome out, even these controls, everything is black cerakoted, anodized. Even these heat shield, the covers, the headers on the pipes, absolutely stunning. Another attention to detail, this is a Roland Sands design cover and the first edition copper badging in it. All these levers in black cerakoted, the option 719 mirrors, and have a look, all the attention with the spray paint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly switch it on for you. There we go, checking on, and I'm going to flick on the indicators. Indicator on, and having a look at front, tiny little indicators, but super bright. If I go to the other side, you can see it's here, and I flick it on. Stunning. Going around to the back, yes, same indicators, stunning. You see over here your little number plate holder. It's so new, I just took delivery of it. I don't even have the number plate for this bike yet, so I'm riding it a bit illegally, but hey, you know what, this is South Africa. In Africa you do anything goes. It's a bit of the Wild West, but that's why we love living here. And if I go back and push brake lights, you will see, there's the light over there, and you will see, really, you have everything in one brake light. Super cool. This particular bike also has heated grips. It has the reverse gear over here, which my R18 First Edition Pure does not have. So really cool. All the controls, foot controls, black cerakoted, even these reservoirs, everything is cleaned up. Now, having a look at that, the only thing that's not chromed, or the chroming has been taken away, is just the covers for the brakes up front. You have here on the motor, and that exposed shaft. So just little accents, little highlights. Even the R18 First Edition has been black chromed, if you want to call it. So how stunning is this motorcycle? And this is the reason why I had to have this motorcycle. Absolutely exquisite bike, and I call this bike the Maverick. Now, Maverick, yes, everybody would naturally assume Tom Cruise, Top Gun. Yes, it has some synergies with that because of the P-51 Mustang, because of the Top Gun badging, because of the Lady Luck for the older aircraft, vintage aircraft. Absolutely stunning, and it goes really well because this BMW badging, most people don't really know that is the front looking at a spinning propeller. These two blues you see right through, the white is where you don't, because BMW Bayerische Motorenwerke was actually a manufacturer of motors for aircraft before they did anything else. That's the history, heritage. Maybe I really like this R18 BMW because I am of German descent. My parents immigrated out of Germany to South Africa, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased, but super cool. Getting back to Maverick, yes, it's the name of Tom Cruise in that movie Top Gun, but Maverick is also a word in the English dictionary, and if you go to the Collins definition, if you describe someone as a maverick, you mean that they are unconventional and independent and do not think or behave in the same way as other people. Now that so describes me and who I am, because with my collection of motorcycles, even starting collecting some cars, spending my spare cash, everything on old automobilia stuff, signage, having just put so much money of mine into having a warehouse and a real man cave, that's pretty unconventional, but it's my way, it's my life, I live it once. People have referred to me as a maverick, so that's why this bike is me and speaks to me, and that's why I have it. So guys, I'm gonna jump onto it now and go for a ride, take you for a short little ride. It's not really about a review. It handles and feels very differently to the original Pure, but it has all the rider aids. I mean, you have the rock and roll modes. You can go through the whole specs in a previous episode where I reviewed mine. You have LED lighting all around. If you pull the brake levers, you've got front and back brakes going together. It's just, it is a BMW. It's an old school looking bike with that open exposed rear drive shaft with a double loop frame. But it's such a combination crossover with modern technology. It rides cool, feels cool, and just absolutely stunning. Now, one thing before we go, let's fire it up and do a quick sound check. Now, having fired it up, just to share with you that sound. How beautiful is this sound? And yes, the other side as well. Having a look again at the lights at the back. Just an absolutely stunning piece of machinery. I'm going to jump on it and take you for a ride. Here we go. Now for me, what is so absolutely fantastic about this motorcycle is, first of all, the sound is brilliant as you roll it on. And it has so much torque. 157 Newton meters at really low RPMs, 3000, pulls you out. That exhaust is behind you, it's low down. If you split lanes, it echoes. It's just got such a nice burble to it. Fantastic. I always say loud pipes save lives. This is not an exhaust you would need earplugs for, but it has a really deep roar to it. Also, having a look at this motor hanging out here, it is just beyond cool. It looks like it comes directly out of an aircraft. Just sit back, that seat has got a flick up, so there's really confidence. There's no fear of slipping off on the back. All blacked out, even the bezels on the headlight and the clocks. It is just absolutely fantastic. You sit cool, the mid-mounted foot pegs, as you can see, I'm super relaxed. Nice sunny day, brilliant. Those rear view mirrors, option 719, they look right past my shoulder. The only thing I could possibly see is my BMW badge on my shoulder, but that is beyond cool as well. Did you hear that little like backfire? It's just brilliant. Love it, absolutely love it. Pulling off here. Stonking torque. This is not a motorcycle you'll be doing 300 kilometers on a weekend or something like that. No, I would say it is very comfortable. Sitting on it, ergonomics is brilliant. However, is there one gripe on this design, but it cannot be changed. And the gripe would be that the foot pegs
the controls here are very much mid-mount, as you can see, but you can't stretch your legs. That's the problem, and the problem is those motors, the pods. Now, being a BMW, you have to have an R motor, meaning boxer air-cooled motor. It is what it is, and that's the charm and character. So the only thing that would be a problem on a long ride would be that you want to stretch your legs. You want to really stretch your leg out like that, but that air-cooled motor would after a while get so hot that it would burn your calf. But I mean, small price to pay. Looks counts for a lot, and this is not something you want to tour with and go 300 k's on a ride. Yes, you would get cramps. I'm definitely going to do that episode once the warehouse is open, where I'm going to put the first edition pure stock standard as it came from the factory next to this one, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison, because that first edition, as it was spec'd, and especially spec'd by BMW Motorrad South Africa here in Midrand, they really spec'd them high, and they had a lot. I think the only omission on mine would be cruise control and the reverse gear, but as I said at the time, this is an old school bike based on the 1930s BMW R35, I think it was, and those bikes did not have cruise control, nor did they have reverse gear, you know, so that's what it is. Now, having this one first edition customized, I do think the R18 lends itself to be a fantastic canvas for customizing bikes. If you look, everyone has different ideas, and that was so stunning with that competition BMW held here in South Africa, where every dealer had a different version. Some picked a pure, some picked a classic, some picked a transcontinental to customize. It was just fantastic. Here I'm running at 2000 RPMs, got this nice little burble going behind me. If I roll it on, is this sound not magnificent? And it just goes so nicely with the theme, look and paint job of this bike, and the whole blacked out thing. I must say I love it. So thumbs up to the builder and all of that. Thank you very much for BMW East Rand for making it come true that I could have this bike in my Route 21 collection. The other cool thing about this R18 First Edition is that you're riding something that looks and feels a little bit like an old vintage or classic motorcycle in the old 30s and 40s BMWs. However, you've got all the modern technology with a braking system. If you pull the front brake, you've got front and rear braking, you've got LED lighting, you've got rider modes, rock and roll and rain. So absolutely cool. You're not struggling with carburetors. It is fun, it's cool, you look cool, you feel great, you feel like a superstar, rock star. So to me, guys, this is an absolutely iconic bike. The reason I say that, you've got an iconic brand in BMW. You got the iconic old school badge with the copper, the old school font in it. That iconic badge that is derived of a spinning propeller. Now, BMW producing motors for aircraft. The theme of this bike is based on an aircraft. Have a look at this motor sticking out here. It looks like it comes straight out of an aircraft. Now, the P-51 Mustang is an iconic plane that helped win the war, the North American fighter plane. Stunning, stunning combination. The theme, it matches this bike. It is absolutely cool. I love it. And I think the BMW R18, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people hate it, some people love it, and that's the beauty of it. There's so many brands out there, you can choose the bike that suits you. But for those that love the BMW R18, and there are countries where it is a top seller, it really lends itself, this R18, to customizing. And I don't think this will be my last R18 BMW customizing project. I have something else in mind, but you know what, the limitation is always the finances and time. So I really do think there's something else for me with another R18. But I'm also definitely going to do that episode where I put this one next to the first edition R18 Pure that I have in the collection, so we can see the exact amount of work and money spent in customizing something to this extent. Now, awesome. I'm also going to, in the next 2 weeks, reveal what that secret custom project it is that I'm building, and that one is based on the Triumph Rocket 3R, something absolutely stunning. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode and you enjoy these custom projects, please remember, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and most important of all guys, please hit that subscribe button to help me build the channel, and if you like, that reminder bell so you always know when I'm uploading the next episode.